Howdy and welcome. Welcome. I don't know what just happened.
Fecal Matter just subscribed to us.
Oh, you subscribed again. Thank you. Appreciate that.
What the hell? I thought Michael was already subscribed.
I mean, he wanted to see them tacos.
Oh, I guess if you get addicted to the
bling
the,
bling.
the sound
thing,
and the thing,
yeah.
unsubscribe, resubscribe. I like your style, Michael.
This is annoying. It's not tweeting through. What the fuck?
Have you tried turning it off and on again? Let me see if my Twitter's even working.
Tweet was not sent.
Tweet, motherfucker.
The internet was a little spotty earlier today. I don't know if that's the reason.
Let me switch Wi-Fi networks.
To what? Wait, it's out. From Was It Good?
Is it really?
That's
yeah,
right.
actually, I see it too now.
All right, I'm not going to hit that button again.
Ravi, when you put your face down like that, you go out of focus.
Well, that makes sense. It's using eye detection to...
What is an eye detection?
I don't know.
Tell the good people what we're doing.
We're doing a whole bunch of stuff.
A lot of it's unbelievable.
A lot of it is about McChicken sandwiches.
Wait, we do have a McDonald's section.
We do. I hope you're hungry.
Oh, it's an anniversary.
It said he had already subscribed.
Yeah. Is that a problem on our end?
I don't know. It's a good question.
So it's an anniversary, but it showed up that he subscribed. Is that a problem with our?
No, it's just an alert.
But it
because
said.
It's the wrong
an,
alert, though.
yeah, because it's an anniversary. It's fine. It's no biggie. Either way, we got to hear a really cool bling.
Bling!
And who doesn't like hearing a bling?
Me.
Junior, you want to hit record on the cams?
Yes.
I like that the cameras are no longer on
The sliders.
makes it easier. They're closer. You hit the red button, Arjuna.
Wait, Johnny Depp?
What about Johnny Depp?
I don't know. He's in the title.
All right.
Fuck that guy.
Well,
you want to do a clap?
We're going to start in just a second here after my awesome clap. Okay, we ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Wow, there are all sorts of noises
Yeah.
happening.
Wait, what was that one? I
He
want to know what
cheered.
these are.
Cheered.
Oh, thank you.
Fecal
Thank you
Matter
for
has
cheering.
cheered
Oh,
for us.
shit.
He still loves us too.
We
we
love you too.
Shut up.
You shut
I
up.
don't love you dickhead.
I know, because we're related.
Here we go. Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of Was It Good? This is our Monday episode, which means it's a bit more low-key, more shoot-the-shit style. So if you're watching on twitch.tv/Was It Good or on YouTube, feel free to drop a comment, suggestion, rant, whatever you like. Today we're talking actors and actresses we'd like to appear in Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, and DC properties. Also top animes, and also some random news shit. As always, my name is Ravi, and we're joined by Christian and Arjuna. Before we get into all of that, one of our loyal viewers sent in a rant from our last Monday episode where we discussed best movies of 2020 versus 2016.
We have not listened to this rant.
We haven't.
Yeah.
Producer, roll the tape.
Hello, Was It Good? I have a bone to pick with you. I listened to your episode about 2016 movies versus 2020 movies. You made a huge faux pas. You completely forgot about one of the best movies that came out in the past 5 years. It's Emma. It's directed by a female. It's a classic story. There's love. There's hilarity. There is sadness. Every single frame is just a beautiful picture that could be in a fine art museum. It is brilliant. It's brilliant. I saw it twice in 48 hours, and I swear I could have seen it so many more times, and it's just so good. So, you guys really need to up your game, watch all the best movies so that you can talk with authority on the actual best movies of the year. Okay, love the podcast. Bye.
What? She's not my friend anymore.
That's interesting. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of movies that came out. I mean, we also disagreed on some fundamental things. Someone said in this podcast, we're not going to name names. Somebody said that they would want to go see Suicide Squad in
I
theaters.
think the person talking.
That is true. I will say, actually, I did see Emma.
Well, how come you didn't mention it?
Yes.
Well, it just doesn't, it doesn't fit into the style of podcast that we talk about here.
Why? What do you mean?
But it is, I do have my list in my phone of my top movies of 2020, and it actually is, I think, in the top 3 or top 5. It was a very well done movie.
What's
Oh,
it
you
even
should have
about?
mentioned it.
It's a period piece.
I hate that. See,
it's-
that's that.
Yeah, it's not your types of movies.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't even pitch it to be like, hey guys, you want to do a podcast on Emma?
You just know. All
just
right,
know.
so here's the actual truth. Me and Ravi are basically a bunch of plebeians.
Yes.
We like a big action movie. We're basically children.
Yes.
So I wouldn't pitch or suggest movies that are will just go over our heads. I'm just
I
kidding.
don't know if period. I think period pieces do kind of go over our heads, but here's the thing, though: we do like period pieces when they're about, and this sounds terrible, war.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it's about war, I'm like, cool, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it's about
We're basically saying
Art.
we're about two of the three of us are essentially children. We never really grew up. We still play with Lego, for crying out loud.
We all do, yeah.
I actually just built a new Boba Fett
Can they
helmet.
see that?
Like they can't.
They
Oh,
can,
they
of course
can't
they
see it.
We should
Way
tease.
over there.
We do have a tease TBD. Christian will be doing a Lego build one day.
Yeah, one day. Under the influence of milk.
Oh, nice.
No,
nice.
that sounds terrifying. Maybe Milk's cousin. Chocolate.
Building his dream Lego set.
Yeah, it is my dream.
Under
Literally my
milk.
dream.
Think about the levels of like. Oh
Fucked.
my god, that would be scary. As always, we're obviously live with our podcast here on twitch.tv/watchitgood. And shout out to our chat over here. Killablend? I'm terrible with these names.
Yeah,
Thank you for the
Killablend.
professional look and us not being mainstream. I know why we're not mainstream, but I've been told not to bring that up.
Bring it up.
No, the
'Cause we're
reason
brown.
No, the reason we're not mainstream is that we
sound the
don't
same?
sell out. Okay, we had many opportunities where big companies that shall not be named approached us, and we're like, "We'll give you guys $1 million every episode to
No
brand,"
no
and
one
we
has
didn't
ever
do
said
it.
that.
We're like, we like our loyal 3 viewers. We're never gonna sell out ever, and that is that. That's
Anyway,
why.
let's get actually into what we're discussing today. Not, the politics of content creation and
Real quick though,
tinfoil hats.
thank you to Kelly for the rant. And if any of you are watching or listening have any kind of rants like that, tweet us. Tweet us videos, voice memos. You can just tweet at us directly at Was It Good. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us why we're right.
Yeah, tell us why we're right.
By the way, the last few weeks I've been promoting thecreativebazaar.com. That was her. She's the mastermind behind that. They just had their live fair this weekend. So
Wow.
Boom. The end.
So, speaking about things that aren't the end, Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, and DC. 3 gigantic properties.
4, Ravi. 4.
What did I say?
3.
3? Guys,
I mean,
English-
you could say
English
DC,
has been hard.
DC and Warner Brothers is a distant fourth,
That's
just
true.
because the DCEU is,
It's practically
a
fifth.
mess.
Pile of hot garbage.
It's the NHL
Wow.
of stuff.
We should do
totally-
a comparison,
let's do a comparison.
between the big 4 leagues, or
Yeah.
like the big 4
Let's
franchises.
do it real quick.
Oh, okay. So I think our journey hit the nail on the head. NHL, the National Hockey League, is
DC.
basically the DC.
Disney has to be the NFL.
Yeah, it's got to be the top. It's number 1. Well,
Disney, I would say. Hold on. I would say.
Wait,
NBA
wait,
and Disney?
hold on. Are we doing studios or are we doing like
No, we're doing the 4 franchises.
These 4
Star Wars, Marvel.
Oh, so yeah. Disney is Marvel. And
Oh,
Star
I'm sorry.
Wars.
I fucked that up. My bad.
Yeah.
Forget
No,
what I
that's
just
fine.
said. Wait, yeah, okay. So DC is NHL. NFL's the number 1. So
It's got to
would
be
it-
Marvel.
Would it be Marvel or would it be Star Wars?
In terms of money, right? If you're going for the money comparison,
Yeah.
it would have to be Marvel.
I wouldn't go with the money comparison. I would just go more with like
Name recognition?
not name recognition, but it's kind of like a gut thing.
Yeah.
And this is I know it's-
Star Wars is NFL.
exactly in the
Yeah.
sense that like NFL fan, and I'm about to like shit on NFL fans, but NFL fans historically, like there are 2 big events that I can draw comparisons: the big event in Star Wars and the big event in the NFL. The NFL,
Super Bowl.
no, the big event in the NFL where everyone's like, "Wow, NFL fans are shitheads," is the whole Kaepernick and kneeling stuff.
Oh, you're
And
going-
that you can compare directly to Episode 8 and what the fucking jackass Star Wars fans said about
That's one
people
way.
of color and,
I'm
and all
gonna
that.
I'm gonna disagree with the NFL being Star Wars, and this is why. Star Wars is niche compared to Marvel. Marvel is more encompassing, has more overall fans. Yes, it's younger. So here's the comparison then.
Mhm.
Star Wars is baseball, right? Baseball being America's sport. Star Wars is older.
I would argue.
Hold on. Star Wars is older. It's more niche. It's more specified.
No.
It's going through a lull right now because of the new trilogy.
You could-
They've tried to reinvent baseball. They tried to reinvent Star Wars.
You're basically
it's a little better.
you're summing up Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek is definitely baseball.
Star Trek is
because
definitely
that fan base
baseball,
is
yeah.
even older. and is
And Star Trek is trying so hard to make
Yeah.
itself relevant.
exactly that feels
I
like
agree with
that feels like
So
baseball.
it's okay, but
That's
I still think NFL is Marvel because it's still on top. It produces an ungodly amount of revenue. It is in your face 24/7 to the point where you get sick of it.
Wait,
could
you're
argue-
saying NFL is Marvel?
Yes. The reason I'm saying that is because, right, you get 4 Marvel movies, you get 3 NFL games a week. You got Monday Night Football, you got Thursday Night Football, you got Sunday Night Football. Then you have these events like the draft and the combine and free agency and all, preseason, right? Then everything's a big storyline.
Yeah.
And even like the Thursday night game last week, which happened like during the election cycle, and everyone's like, this game's going to go, it's going to suck, and its ratings going to go down. The ratings went down 5%. So even though like it went in a bad spot where most other things would decline, it still did well. Same with Marvel right now, right? You could have a bad movie and it's still going to make.
So
$1
you're
billion.
saying so let's go to the NBA then. You're saying Star Wars is NBA.
I would argue.
I don't know if anything
hold
fits
on,
the NBA.
Hold on.
very
I
well.
would say Star Wars is more like the NBA in the sense that it's trying out new forms of content. Right? NBA, we know it has been probably the top in terms of like 360 type of content. They've been more open to betting types of content. Star Wars traditionally has, Star Wars is Star Wars is soccer. That's great. That's huge best.
That's true. Soccer's awesome. Get out of here,
Star Wars has done, I think, a better job than Marvel has in terms of expanding upon types of content. They've Star Wars has always been this gigantic thing of movies, books, and now more relevant times is movies, these Disney Plus shows. We have these VR experiences. There's a whole fucking theme park for Star Wars. So I would say they're similar in terms of they are trying new types of content.
I think you could. I would say Star Wars is NFL. They've both been around. Well, everything. No, that's not true. Never mind. Forget it. I'm done.
We have a comment here from Miko Matter.
Yeah.
Marvel equals NBA. Star Trek equals baseball. NFL equals Star Wars.
I agree.
You forgot about DC and NHL.
I think that's universally agreed upon.
That makes sense. And I think Star Trek being baseball also makes like perfect sense.
Yeah. Star Trek and baseball. That's
just like a no-brainer.
That feels right.
But the NFL, the
But
NBA,
there's more hope.
Star Wars,
I feel like
and
there's more
Marvel.
hope for Star Trek than baseball, right?
yes.
Oh, big time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I would. I think we can all agree.
Baseball
That's literally
sucks.
that's literally like that's the only probably disagreement I think you'd get in the comparison. That there's probably more hope for Star Trek, and there's also there's more TV shows than there ever have been for Star Trek. I mean, you have 3.
17.
You have 3 currently in
Only 3?
production or air, and you have another 2 or 3 in pre-production that are going to come to air. So
Here's why I think Marvel and NBA works, is because Marvel has more marketable characters, I would say, than Star Wars. In fact, every single superhero is just a marketing figure, toys, whatever. And I think the NBA, as opposed to the NFL, can market their players better. So from a marketing perspective, I feel like those are more parallel. NBA and Marvel. Whereas Star Wars and NFL, they have a lot more random people running around. Like there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters in both of these franchises, obviously, but a lot of like less known characters. Just like in the NFL, there's a lot less known stars wearing helmets, and there's like 53 players to a roster. So yeah, that's how that's why I feel like Star Wars is NFL and Marvel is NBA. To me,
I think going to kind of wrap this up, I think we can agree DC is
that's the easy
NHL,
one. That's the easy one.
Star Trek is baseball.
That's the
Then I
next
think
easiest.
you can kind of move.
you can make arguments.
You
there.
can make arguments between NFL, NBA, Star Wars, and Marvel.
And Harry Potter is
Yo mama.
MLS?
Yo mama.
Golf?
Yo mama.
I have no idea what Harry Potter would be.
I mean, Harry Potter is probably like the 5th biggest franchise.
MLS.
right out of
UFC.
those 4.
UFC. There's a bloodbath out there.
I mean, you could also make the argument Harry Potter could be baseball because it is on a steep decline from where it was years ago.
Yeah, but baseball has like this long tradition where Harry Potter.
Yeah, it definitely
It's
does.
like a newer. I would say Lord of the Rings could be. Lord of the Rings might be a better.
Oh,
For
Lord of the Rings would be like the Olympics.
Cricket.
It shows up once every 4 years.
from our chat, Miko Matter is saying that Harry Potter is cricket.
No, because cricket is also quite an ancient sport. Like Harry Potter has to be something kind of new that's already died out. Maybe UFC. I think UFC is
pretty
actually a
fun.
pretty good.
Remember how when like UFC, probably like maybe 5-7 years ago?
Yeah,
That was probably its peak.
Yeah, when McGregor was at his peak,
Yeah.
UFC was at its peak, and it's not.
We don't
it's not
have
even close to
anyone
being the
like
same. It's not
there's
even
no
close.
hype,
So
unfortunately.
it came out of the blue. It had its 7-year run, and now it's gone, just like Harry Potter.
Fucking hate Harry
And Dana
Potter.
White's.
But
X-Factor.
we didn't bring up these 4 amazing franchises just to compare them to America's biggest.
So that was a
sports
fun
leagues.
exercise.
That was a great exercise.
You're welcome, America.
Yeah, giving them what they didn't ask for. But what we wanted to ask, and this was brought up a while ago, was we were trying to discover if there was an actor or actress that first had been in all 4. It had been in Marvel, had been in DC, had been in Star Wars, had been in Star Trek. There are tons that have done twofers. There's a few that have done 3s. Very hard and difficult to find individuals that had done all 4. A couple individuals that we had found, they were voice actors, not necessarily within the big theatrical films, but had done kind of the side stories in terms of animated series
Yeah.
or voice in a video game,
Yeah.
which still technically counts.
Yeah.
Still
I
part of
found
the universe.
Oh, okay, yeah. Keep going.
But then the other question to some of this, so one of the individuals that we did discover that had done everything was George Takei.
He has.
He's been in everything, either as a main actor, so obviously like Sulu in Star Trek,
Yeah.
and then has done a crap ton of voiceover work, ranging from Rebels to various DC games and Marvel animated shows. So he's done everything.
Amazing.
So he's been in all. Obviously not as a main front or a main actor or the main character, but
Yeah.
he's been in everything.
Yeah. So maybe I should go first.
Well, yeah. To bring it back to this, we wanted to then also,
Pitch,
pitch basically an actor and actress that we think could play a character in everything, whether it's a new character or a character that we're familiar with in a comic book or a side story, whatever. So Christian, it sounds like, has an idea.
Yes. Well, so first of all, the guy I was thinking that I wanted to pitch. So I guess I should have clarified this before I even started looking. Are we looking for someone who hasn't appeared in any of them that we want to appear in all 4, or can it be someone that has appeared in 1 and we'd like to see them in the other 3?
I picked mine as one who has appeared in 2
Okay.
and could appear in another
Okay, cool.
2.
So it's like loose rules.
Part of this exercise too is the problem that you'll run into is
Mhm.
that there's a Leonardo DiCaprio, for example,
Daniel Day-Lewis.
hasn't done any of them.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a no-brainer.
Yeah. So this first guy, the first guy that I was thinking that immediately came to my mind was Jason Isaacs.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, so Jason Isaacs, he's been in
Star Trek
Star
Discovery.
Trek Discovery, easy.
Yep.
And then I looked on his went on IMDb. He's actually been in all 4 in some way, shape, or form. Star Trek, right? He appeared in an animated Green Lantern movie as a voice actor.
He also appeared in Superman Red Sun as Superman.
Superman, yep. Star Wars.
Wait, he was Superman in the Red Sun?
Yes.
Dang,
Did he
he was
appear in
an
Star
evil
Wars?
Russian.
Yep.
Well,
He
he is
appears-
always evil.
He's a voice actor in Star Wars Rebels. Didn't know that. until today.
As who?
The Inquisitor.
Really?
Yes, that's Jason
I
fucking
didn't know
Isaacs.
that.
I didn't know that. And then finally, the hardest one, Marvel. He appeared in a little-known film, 2005 film, Elektra, as an unnamed character.
Oh, was he like in a post-credit scene?
I don't know if he was in a post-credit scene, but he appears as DeMarco, and he's uncredited. He's uncredited. That's what it is. His character's name in Elektra, the Jennifer Garner 2005 film, which I think is a sequel to Daredevil. He appears as a character named DeMarco, but he's uncredited. So he has actually appeared in all 4 major properties in varying degrees. So I'm gonna pitch 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
First, I think Helena Bonham Carter needs to appear in all 4 franchises. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think she's appeared in any of them that I can at least think of. I went through real quick her IMDb. I don't think she's appeared. She's obviously in Harry Potter, but that's not part of it. And she's done like a few other things, like Alice in Wonderland. She's in Terminator Salvation, apparently, but it doesn't look like she has been in. She's been in any of the four big ones. I think she would be fantastic. She plays crazy. She plays crazy, right?
Mhm.
Therefore, you can put her to a number of characters in any of those series. So that would be my pick there, and then my second pick is Keegan-Michael Key, because
He does everything.
That's a good
He
one.
does
because
everything.
he does everything.
Yep.
He's bald. You throw a wig on him, he can be anyone, anything, anytime.
Well, here's a question: who would you have these actors and actresses play?
Yeah, there are
in
certain
each
characters that
respective
you're
role?
aware of in these
Yeah.
universes that they could play.
Yeah.
or
So,
potential like you'll see in mine, but I did
like,
characters that don't necessarily exist or were minor, or maybe a recast.
Yeah.
Projecting them to be older.
Yeah. So Keegan-Michael Key's easy. Darth Maul, Captain Picard, Charles Xavier, and
Are these all Key and Peele sketches?
yeah, they should be. And then what's the last franchise I'm missing? DC.
Yes.
Black Adam.
Well, so someone didn't
Wow.
take this exercise seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Black Adam's character, like he's like a serial, like he's a murderer, like he's crazy.
Yeah. Keegan can play that.
Oh, all right.
What? Keegan can do anything. Have you seen Key and Peele?
Yeah, but
He plays.
it's all comedy based,
so.
so I don't know if he could play like a serious.
All right, here I'm gonna
Murderer.
take a stab at this. I'm gonna help Christian out. Keegan should play for DC Static Shock's dad.
Ew.
What?
No. Will Smith has to play Static Shock's dad.
Will Smith has done enough damage to DC.
DC did its own damage to DC.
Yeah.
No one
No
actor,
one can
no
help.
director,
No one can
no
help,
producer. It's a collective fuck up.
Oh my god.
Okay, for Marvel, he should play and reclaim this villain in Spider-Man known as Scorpion, because he's so ridiculous. Keegan's ridiculous.
That
That
would
would
work.
be fun.
That would be a fun
be
one.
I bet Keegan could
hilarious.
do something
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fun with that.
Yeah.
For Star Wars, he's got to play.
Han Solo.
He's got to play he's got to Star Wars feels like a Keegan cameo in the making. Right? So
No.
it's got to be like an Imperial officer or
No. You know who he should play? He should play the pilot from Rogue One. I could totally see him being that ratty nervous guy.
Why would they reboot something so quickly?
They wouldn't. I'm just saying that's who he
Oh
could
my-
play.
I would imagine, like, if he's gonna be in Star Wars, he would play either an Imperial officer,
No.
like a commander of a starship.
Oh, a commander.
He's like a commander of a starship, but like his post is something ridiculous. Like, your job is to patrol this solar system where there's no life, there's no resource, there's
No.
nothing here,
He would
but we
be-
need you to patrol.
He would be like Finn, like the head of sanitation, for some star destroyer.
And the easiest one, which probably will happen because Keegan does everything and does a lot of voice acting, is he should be like a voice on Lower Decks, just some random alien character
Sure.
or something. Like I'm sure that's gonna happen in season 2
Yeah.
because I feel like
Get
this
Key
is,
and Peele.
I feel like this is how Keegan's agent works. They're like, you want us to do something, we'll do it. No questions asked.
No questions asked.
Which is great. He's in so many things. But it just feels like he never says no to anything. I mean, he was in Predator, for God's sake.
So we have in the chat here, we have some suggestions for Helena Bonham Carter as Darth Mutter in the 2025 reboot of Star Wars. Darth Mutter? Oh man. But Helena Bonham Carter, where would you put her? Because she's so versatile. You could.
I mean, she's
Saw
got to
her
play
in a lot
villain
of
and
places.
everything.
She should
Yeah.
play. She should play Phoenix because her as a Dark Phoenix. I think would be or Phoenix, right?
What do you guys think of her as Ventress in Star Wars? If they ever did like a live action,
That would make that would make a lot
she
of
would
sense.
be badass. Yeah. So Ventures for Star Wars. I love that. I think Phoenix. I'm really digging Phoenix, but maybe not. I don't
I
know.
think like she's too old.
This thing called CGI.
Or you could do an older Phoenix.
Yeah, you could do like a story in the future. Like, it doesn't have to be something we've already seen. It could be an original thing.
I feel like
Yeah.
she could be a really good older Jean Grey.
Okay. Like a crazy
Yeah.
Jean Grey.
No, just older. You
No,
know?
crazy.
Like they've done all the young X-Men stuff. They should do older X-Men.
Okay. What about DC?
For DC,
Yeah.
what about like Poison Ivy?
Oh, I could totally see it. Yeah, should be a great Poison Ivy. And then what's the other one? Star Trek. Are there any crazy characters in Star Trek?
She could be someone that's been lost
Oh.
at sea.
The Borg Queen.
The Borg.
Yeah, I mean the Borg Queen could have multiple looks,
Right.
whatever. It
Why
doesn't have
not?
to be, yeah, it doesn't have to be the same actress.
Interesting. Are they?
Or it could be a Q.
It could be cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Q's another good
Oh,
one
the bottom
that
card
would
is
be
Q.
interesting.
That'd be hilarious.
W.
I don't know if we've seen a female Q.
Wait, is
I don't
Q?
know
Isn't
either.
Q just one person?
No.
No, it's a whole collective of
Oh,
like
never mind.
super aliens.
Sorry, I don't know Star Trek like you nerds.
It's not knowing; it's being part of the Star Trek.
It is
universe.
knowing. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So that's those are my two picks. My entries into the EGOT for entertainment.
So for my entries, I actually went with kind of a simple one. And actually, throwing back to our chat here, I think Lag and Cheese brought up Thrawn. And remember from our last Star Wars celebration, we saw a gigantic banner, and we could have all sworn that Pierce Brosnan looked like a Thrawn.
Yep.
I still believe that makes the most sense.
Uh-huh.
And then Pierce Brosnan being in these other properties, also an easy thing.
Should be.
In the Marvel DC space, it feels like he would play more of a father type figure or a mentor type figure, which there are a plethora of different characters that haven't been, we haven't really explored. Like, there's also, like, if we want to get really weird and if the DC universe actually does do the Flashpoint paradox, a Thomas Wayne, where he
Ooh.
plays like Thomas Wayne Batman, essentially, where in that storyline he loses Bruce and his wife and
becomes Batman.
he becomes Batman and has guns and it's just violent as fuck.
He just kills people.
Yeah, so basically Thrawn,
Nice.
but white, not blue. And then in Star Trek, I could imagine him being part of like the Black Ops of the Federation.
Section 31.
Yeah, doing
Oh,
some-
007.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But more like shady ass shit.
A shady admiral.
Shady admiral, yes.
Like a top secret one.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Pierce Brosnan a lot.
Who's your Marvel one for
Who
him?
would you put him in Star Wars? As?
Well, it's Thrawn.
Oh, right. Duh.
Yeah.
Who's your Star Wars for him?
Thrawn.
Oh, right.
Are you
We
guys
both
okay?
have a collective brain.
Oh, and throwing
Nope.
it back real quick, there was a female Q. Thank you to the chat, Lag and Cheese. The episode was in Next Generation called True Q. So we have seen a female Q, but still Helen as a Q would be quite fascinating. So
Mine is, for my choice, is
I didn't ask.
Is Donald Glover. He actually has already appeared in 2 of the properties. He's been in the MCU in Spider-Man: Homecoming as Aaron Davis, the uncle of Miles Morales, and he's also been in Star Wars in the Solo story as Lando. So for Star Trek and DC, my two choices for Star Trek, we would recast Cisco's son, and we would have the adventures of Donald Glover as Cisco's son.
Fun tidbit of information. There is a Deep Space Nine novel that takes place with Cisco's son, and I forget the Ferengi.
Oh yeah.
They basically discover information about Tucker from the Enterprise and why he sacrificed himself, and it was part of some secret mission or whatever. So we could do that story, which would be fascinating.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance.
And then for DC, I think he should play the Jon Stewart version of Green Lantern. I still think they should do that version of Green Lantern. He's my favorite Green Lantern.
Isn't he a bit older though, or isn't he portrayed older?
He is portrayed as older, but you could. I mean,
Plus
a
he's like
comic. You could do him.
ex-Marine,
Yeah, but
too.
you could. I mean, Donald Glover has some range. You could do it. You could see it.
I don't know.
I think John David Washington would be a
Yes,
badass.
that
He
would be a badass. Yeah,
version
John
of that
Stewart,
Green-
yeah.
John Stewart, yeah. He would be great.
that would be amazing. That would be great.
You're
Will
right. Don
Smith.
Glover could do it,
Shut
but I
up.
don't know if he would be the best. And we want the best.
All right, he'll be Static Shock.
I think there's only one
works
person
too.
who could do John Stewart, Green Lantern, and that's Keegan, because Keegan can do anything.
Shut up.
Keegan could even do female Darth Maul.
I can't wait till Jordan Peele does another horror movie, and he casts Keegan in the movie, and Keegan's the first victim who dies horribly.
Why would he do that to his best friend?
That's
It'd
not-
be
they're
like
not
a
best
fun
friends.
cameo.
What?
They hate each other.
They have a show called Key and Peele together.
Yeah, that's not a blatant display of your hatred for another human being. I don't know what is.
Yes, Keegan can only do comedy. That is 100% true. That no one ever said that comedy was limited to originals. I want to see a comedy version of Star Wars. Oh wait, that's already
Yeah, it's
done.
called Episode 8.
9.
Episode 8.
Episode 9.
Episode
Episode 8.
7.
Episode 9.
Episode
Let's
6.
be honest. The
Rogue
prequels.
One.
The prequels are hilarious. The prequels are
My
comedy.
favorite part in the prequels is episode 2 when Anakin says, "I hate sand." Every time I see that or think about it, I just burst out laughing.
I think every time you go to the beach, you're like,
Yeah,
you say that
see
line.
that, or the other part when he's on Tatooine and he's like, "I murdered them all."
yeah. And not just the men,
the
but
children.
the women and the children.
And it's
too.
like,
and then Padme's reaction is, "Oh, Annie."
like,
Then,
so
like,
fucked
and
up.
then
It's like,
comforts him. It's
what
like,
the
"Oh,
hell, man? Come
you
on.
still feel for this murdering psychopath.
You psychopathic asshole, huh?
Yeah.
I think out of everyone's pick, I think
I think mine's the best.
I think Arjuna's makes a lot of sense. I think mine makes sense. Christian didn't take the homework assignment seriously at all.
What? Excuse me.
So that's great.
I'm the only one who did the homework correctly. My first choice is already an EGOT. So
I'm
I
honestly
did the most
surprised
right.
that you even looked up what he did. Like, you didn't just pick him, and then we did the whole episode, and like, you should do this, this, and this, and then we find out afterwards.
He's done all of those.
Yeah. I was surprised.
Your
So-
faith in me is admirable.
It's accurate.
No.
Moving along here to another topic that I'm sure will trigger a lot of individuals. Recently, a little website called IGN.com put together a list of their top 25 anime of all time.
Yeah.
So I did find out this isn't a recent list,
Yeah, I'm
It was
looking at it.
just-
It was posted back in November of 2019.
but it was posted
2019,
again.
that's
It was populated again by IGN. It's one of their evergreen type of articles, and it did generate some discussion, specifically among the three of us.
Yeah.
And to preface this as well, I think it's important to bring this up. When this article was posted back in November of 2019, COVID was kind of creeping in and starting, and then once we got into the new seasons or the season of 2020 when new anime was supposed to come out, a lot of it was postponed. One of the big ones was obviously Attack on Titan, season 4. That was supposed to have dropped at the start of summer. It was pushed back obviously because of COVID. So this article, I would say, is still somewhat accurate, correct? Because we have
Yeah.
not seen a lot of the 2020 anime that was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
But
I'd say so.
this list, what do you guys think? I mean, just to kind of bring up some of the highlights. Number 25, they're throwing up like Sailor Moon. Some other big note ones, which I thought we found interesting. Number 23 was Dragon Ball Z. There's also, what was the other big one? My Hero Academia was thrown in at number 17. And then jumping up the list, 15 is Naruto. What is it? One Piece is number 4. Cowboy Bebop number 2, and then number 1 was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Obviously, other notable animes that we watch that what we like, for example, are Gundam, the original Pokemon. Those obviously didn't even make the top 25 list.
Yeah. Attack on Titan, Death Note.
Yep.
These are the ones that I'm a little surprised.
I wonder if Gundam kind of cannibalized itself because there's so many iterations.
Yes.
That it's almost
answer is
like
yes.
it's almost like there's not one go-to like this is the premier Gundam, because there's a lot of like good to mediocre Gundams, and then there's a few elite ones. But because there are so many, it's almost like it kind of boxed itself out, because it's like,
Yeah.
are any of them top 25 worthy? The franchise as a whole is certainly top 25 worthy, because they have created some epic arcs and done some stuff. But because it is so all-encompassing,
They have a lot of good, but a lot of bad.
exactly. and you could
Or
argue
mediocre.
you could argue like Dragon Ball kind of reaches that phase, because you have Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, which you have to include in there, even though it doesn't have a direct manga, and Dragon Ball Super, right? And there's a lot of good.
Super.
There's a lot of good in there, but there's
It's
also
all good.
quite a bit bad.
There's no
quite
bad.
Dragon Ball GT is bad.
Oh,
Okay?
I don't count GT. The
You
original,
have to count it.
the original creator, wasn't even involved in the storytelling process. He wasn't involved in the
You
character
still have to
designs.
count it.
I don't. I just don't. I ignore it. You know,
Okay,
I
well,
get rid of it like this.
and
I go
so
like this.
Dragon Ball Z being in the top 23. In the top 20. Five right outside the top 20, I think is a good spot.
Yeah.
What I liked about reading this list is some of the animes you forgot about, and like one of those is I think it's like number 9, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It was
I never watched it,
was
but
one
you guys
that
used to. Yeah.
was one that I really liked. It actually makes me want to like rewatch the show because I watched it when I was a kid. It was
Yeah.
actually originally released in like
Yeah.
92.
Some comments here. No Death Note. Oh, what the hell? Agreed. The fact that there's no Death Note on this top 25 immediately makes the list suspect to me, at least. Now, I'm not an anime expert. I haven't seen every anime. No one here will say that.
Well, yeah.
But Death Note is such a finely crafted story, and the animation was, pretty good. It just blows my mind that it would not be in the top 25. I wonder if it's because maybe it's more of a niche genre. Maybe could that be why? Well, some of these have more broad appeal. Lag and Cheese also brought up another one. No One Punch Man season 1. I would agree with you, but season 2 is like kind of bad. So I can see why they wouldn't put One Punch Man on the list, because they don't do it by seasons, right? They do it by full shows, and I think I love season 1. Season 2 is as mediocre as it gets.
They have
so average those out. It's probably not top 25.
They have an honorable mentions box here of ones that just missed the
yeah,
cut.
what's in that list?
Pokemon is in there. Obviously, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
That I feel like is almost Gundam worthy. Mobile Suit Gundam 08 MS Team
Well, that's
is
a good
in
one
there.
too.
I don't recognize anything else.
Yeah, I don't.
There's Pokemon in there too, right?
Yeah, I said that. You weren't listening.
I wasn't listening. Pokemon. Got to catch them all.
Why wasn't Digimon?
This
in
is
there?
a children's show.
Why wasn't Digimon in there? What about Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh, is Yu-Gi-Oh American? It's not though.
No, it's
Yu-Gi-Oh is
yeah, it's
Japanese.
Japanese.
Yeah, so it's Yu-Gi-Oh. Why aren't you guys mad about Yu-Gi-Oh? You guys love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh's just okay. Like Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon are just okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
We're-
Yu-Gi-Oh might be the most quoted thing by YouTube ever.
You have to also remember that like Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, and Pokemon all set out to do one thing.
America.
No, well, in part, yeah, it was in part to do the America stuff, but it was also to do the whole selling of merchandise.
yes.
Like that's entirely where their shows were created. While things like a Death Note, One Punch Man, Gundam to a degree, they're not created.
Well.
I mean, I would say Gundam now,
Yes.
yes, it's definitely so that we can go and sell those toys and those kits and all that fun stuff. But like I think a lot of the stuff that's on this list, they were created to tell interesting, diverse stories.
So was Death Note.
Yeah, Death Note for sure. But I was
Why is it on the list?
because whoever wrote this article is
So I think was this based on a poll though? Because I'm reading the first paragraph.
it was partly a poll and then also partly their
the
writing
writing
as well.
staff.
From
Okay, so it
IGN.
was a collaboration between the fans and the team. Well, I mean that's fair. I mean,
Let's be honest, it's the editor in chief. They got final say on the article, and if they didn't like it, they were like, "Fuck that, get it out of here."
yeah.
So.
No, I get that.
I am. My Hero Academia is interesting at 17.
I agree.
It's one of the only shows on this list that's still ongoing.
Going. Yeah.
And the manga is still ongoing too, so this show could go on for a long, long time. And a lot of people estimate this anime will go on for a long, long time.
I hope so.
Almost like Naruto.
My Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, My Hero
and
Academia,
it is super popular. If you go to the
It's too popular.
when we've gone to the conventions, like it is one of the more cosplayed franchises out there. I would say it's up there with some
Star
of the bigger
Wars.
ones and stuff. Yeah, like I remember when we went to the last WonderCon we went to in 2019. Was it 2019? I went to
Yes.
WonderCon?
Sure. I really can't remember.
It was 2019 or 2018, and I remember, they out front they always do their group photos with like Star Wars and stuff, and I was shocked by how big the My Hero group photo
Yeah.
was. It was almost as big as Star Wars, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know,
Lag and Cheese. My Hero Academia is really tropey.
Yes.
Totally agree. Very entertaining. Very entertaining. But yeah, it is. Every arc is a trope you've seen before for sure. That doesn't. I mean, it doesn't discount the fact that it's as popular as it is.
it also
which still blows my mind. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but
it also came out during the
It's the
the
bright
time
colors.
where superheroes are super popular,
booming.
and so it was just correct timing to kind of
yeah.
I want something different from Marvel and DC, so here's My Hero Academia essentially.
Yeah.
Howdy to
Granite Armadillo.
Granite Armadillo. Time is a blur, and I'll throw out this fun fact that I knew already, but it was brought to my attention again this morning. if you take the entire history of the universe and you lay it out on a 12-month calendar, the human population and human beings, we've only been here for about 3 to 4 seconds.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
So time is a big
Wait,
fucking
wait, wait.
joke.
In the 3 to 4 seconds in the history of the universe?
On a calendar year, if the entire
That seems like a lot. I thought it would have been like microseconds.
No,
So the
it's
fact
like
that it's 3 or
3
4
to 4
seconds
seconds.
is that's significant.
Well, remember, you have to think of how many
Wow.
seconds are in a
no,
day.
I get that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that the universe was so long that it would be microseconds, like not even 1 second. But hey, we made it to 3 seconds.
But you also
Hell,
have to remember
it's
they
pretty
keep
good.
changing the age of the universe as we understand it more and more. So
The universe doesn't make any sense. Do you realize?
nothing makes sense.
Do you realize that the universe, the structure of the universe, they theorize that there's like these giant dark matter blobs,
Yes, there's nothing
but it's like dark matter that like actively pushes galaxies
away.
into like into like structures.
Okay.
And so if you look at the structure of the universe, it looks like, lack of a better word, it looks like neurons of a brain, like not neurons, but dendrils, like dendrites of a brain. It looks like the inside of a brain, in terms of like the way that the galaxies, I should say, are structured together. Like they're like the shape of the universe is there's oddly order to it, which is a weird thought.
Well, don't they also say that we keep going, like keep seeing patterns too? Like
Yeah,
what you
that's
see
true.
in nature, you'll see in
Yeah.
space and
Our brains are wired for it
internally
too.
and all that
Yeah.
crap.
Like our brains will look for patterns.
This isn't a science podcast, by the way. Just
Yeah, I mean, it's science fiction. Let's be honest. The universe isn't real.
Real quick, to bring
Fuck.
it back to animes, one anime we didn't mention, I think everyone here has seen or at least heard of Afro Samurai.
Oh,
Any
great.
surprise that
Amazing.
wasn't even mentioned in
I
honorable
totally
mentions?
forgot about that. Yeah.
No, that makes complete sense because that was like a Spike TV collab thing.
It was very.
It
felt
didn't
like-
come out through like the normal anime channels or distribution.
and
I mean, it is Japanese. It's
For sure.
it has manga.
it has a
it's-
manga.
Yeah,
Oh, well
it
then.
is an
Then
anime.
I take back what I just said. It should be on the list.
No,
and
definitely.
it's definitely prolific here in the United States and the West Coast. Obviously, for Samuel L. Jackson being
It's
the,
hey, be respectful. It's Samuel L. Motherfucking Jackson.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
He would love
Show
that.
some fucking respect.
Real quick, has anyone number 1 on the list is Cowboy Bebop? I haven't seen it, not yet.
No, number
no,
two.
That's
Number
number
two,
two. That's number
yes.
2. Sorry, I'm actually, because of this list, I am starting.
My Hero. No, I'm sorry.
Full Metal.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, I am starting it.
That's definitely deserving of the one spot.
Really?
If I had to say, it's
Alright.
the best anime by far I've ever seen.
It's hard. It's hard. The tone is so. I'm only the second episode into Brotherhood. The tone is really jarring.
yeah, it goes.
It goes from like really funny, and then all of a sudden the kid's like got no legs.
Yeah, it goes really.
a little weird.
goes really
Kid
dark.
goes-
fast.
It's a little
Kid
weird.
goes to Kids Got No Legs.
No, like they're laughing, they're having a good time. He's making fun of his height, and then flashback, he killed his brother. He's got no legs. The mom's a corpse. You know, it's just like okay. So I am giving Brotherhood a shot. Has anyone seen Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
Because that is considered number 1 on a few other lists I've seen.
Yes.
I feel like if you averaged out all the lists, I think Cowboy Bebop is universally number 1, or averagedly, universally averaged number 1. I don't know, whatever. So it does Cowboy Bebop deserve to be number 1? You haven't seen Brotherhood, I don't think.
Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't make. Yeah, I'd have to see Brotherhood first to make that kind of choice.
Would Cowboy Bebop be number 1 on your list?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Why not?
Hmm.
My anime that I've been making.
Your anime? It sucks.
It's called Star Horses.
So we'll get into a little bit of was it news topics here before we run away. The first one is how do we preface this? The first one is interesting. We'll just say that.
It is.
The headline kind of reads as Johnny Depp leaves Fantastic Beasts.
Thank God.
A mutual parting of the ways is how it's put. Warner Brothers, though, who does the Harry Potter franchise, really had been pressuring Johnny Depp to leave for the last year plus
Because of his
because of his
troubles?
ongoing troubles with his ex-wife Amber Heard. A lot of disturbing
Oh.
allegations being thrown at him, and he's also throwing some allegations towards her. Very volatile relationship. It seems between those two.
He should never have even been on it. The Fantastic Beasts, I thought Colin Farrell did a great job as Grindelwald, And I think I let out an audible no when I saw him transform into Johnny Depp. I'm like, they've destroyed it. Johnny Depp, I'm sorry, he might have done great things in the past. I can't take that guy seriously. Like, there's nothing. He's just he's a Fruit Loop. That's
Here's the thing, though.
It's not fair, but
here's
but
the
he
thing,
is.
though. Like these allegations and everything that the stuff that's happening between Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, it's a little
concerning.
It's concerning because Johnny Depp hasn't been charged or has not been proven that he did any of the allegations that Amber Heard, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is making. The claims he made against her, those have been proven. There is evidence that states she abused him.
There's also evidence that he abused her as well. There's evidence. There's quote unquote evidence on both sides.
Didn't the court find him guilty just recently? I thought that was a court case like within the last week, and it was found. He was found. That he did that.
Right. There's
did the bad
definitely.
stuff.
There's definitely that. But I think on top of that, Johnny Depp has recently in like the last 10 years had a lot of legal issues as well. So I don't think it's just the Amber Heard stuff. It is, it's X, Y, and Z. He has multiple, like his bodyguards are also suing him for other issues.
He also has wine a day problem.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a story that came out. There's a story that came out that he would be so unprepared for his roles, specifically with pirates. He didn't bother memorizing his line. He actually invested in a technology for a microphone in his ear that was undetectable, so his lines could be fed to him. I don't know how true that is, but it's a great story.
If you have the money, I do that for this podcast. Why do you think we wear these things? Somebody's telling me what to say.
Does that make him a better actor?
Maybe. I don't know.
Obviously the guy is weird. Don't get me wrong. There's something very off about that, but. And I've never acted professionally, so I couldn't answer this myself. But if someone's feeding you lines and you haven't prepared beforehand, and then you're acting it out as you hear it, that's got to be pretty hard, right? I mean, that can't be easy. I feel like it'd be a lot easier to just memorize your fucking lines.
So back to this whole thing with Warner Brothers obviously came in and said, "Hey Johnny, please leave. Let's just separate and be done with it." Do we think there's going to be something similar with Amber and DC? Because obviously she's contracted for multiple films in Aquaman as, I don't even remember the character's name.
Fish Lady.
Social media has already kind of said kick her out and get Emilia Clarke to replace her.
Emilia Clarke?
Yeah.
What,
oh, no.
One bad actress or another?
Correct.
Well, I guess, yeah, it's just, yeah. All right. Yeah.
But I guess the question is, why have we not seen Warner Brothers separate ties with Amber Heard yet? What are we thinking there?
I'm not touching it.
Smart. So
I'm
smart.
not going there.
I think I'll just say this as an overarching theme. If you in the court of public opinion, right? There's if you look at how much in the evidence and how much stuff and there's against both actors. I don't think anyone can certainly say like what happened between these two because there's definitely conflicting evidence on both sides from what I've read and what I understand. I don't claim to be an expert by any means. I think the reason Johnny Depp gets dinged more is because he has priors.
Yeah.
There's a history there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's necessarily one yet, or if there ever will be with Amber Heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's potentially the difference. And you just kind of have to wait and see. I think with Aquaman, they haven't even started filming the second one, and I think that's a year or two away from being filmed. So it's almost like Warner Brothers.
They're waiting.
They have the options. They have the options to wait. And worst case scenario, it's like okay, she doesn't come back for the sequel, but maybe she can come back for the third one. Because even though she's one of the primary characters, it's very easy to write around her character. While in Fantastic Beasts, Johnny Depp played Grindelwald, and he's the main antagonist. You can't
just
really
change it back into Colin Farrell.
right because Colin Farrell technically didn't play Grindelwald. He played Percival Graves, who was the head or someone part of the Ministry of Magic, who Grindelwald was pretending to be. So he had Polyjuice Potion. So a lot of people are asking for. In the story is Grindelwald just changes his face back to Percival Graves and Colin Farrell is
do it.
Grindelwald.
I thought Colin Farrell did a great job. A couple comments that look interesting.
I mean, yeah, the
Lag
big
and
one
cheese.
is lag and cheese. Is Harry Potter even relevant? I mean, it still makes some money. So to Warner Brothers, yeah, it's relevant. They have an entire stupid theme park for the,
They're
thing.
allegedly doing 3 more Fantastic Beast movies.
and
Only
I'm going to
3?
see all 3.
You are?
No,
Did you see the last one or two?
yeah, there's only one, isn't there?
There's
no,
2.
there's 2.
Whoops.
Yeah, that the
You didn't
movie
you didn't miss much.
Yeah.
The second one is so
convoluted.
Isn't his brother? Maybe I did see the second one. Doesn't
his
he-
brother.
Yeah, I did see the second one.
it's not good though.
Yeah, I can't for
No.
the life of me.
No.
Wasn't there a whole thing with World War II and Nazis in it?
It's World War.
One? I can't remember.
Yeah,
It's so
early.
forgettable.
It's early.
It's so
it's early.
forgettable.
It's
It's
early.
early.
It's early.
There's also an issue with that movie where it's like you have to ask who the main character is because it's like clearly undefined. It's like Star Wars Episode 1 where you're
isn't
like, wait,
Isn't it? Wasn't
who's the
it?
main character?
Isn't it just the
No,
beast guy?
he's absent for such big portions of the movie.
Wait, which one? The second one?
The sequel, yeah.
Is
You
that
can't-
just 'cause- is that just because of the flashbacks?
You can't even
Yeah.
remember. We'll
Yeah.
leave this subject. It's probably going to change next week when some other allegation or something comes up. So we'll leave that as is. One thing that we know that I think one individual at this table is very much looking forward to, Arjuna. You can finally go and eat comfortably at McDonald's because they've got the McPlant burger coming out.
Why is this in here?
I don't know.
It's big news. It's big. It's big news in the world
We
of
cover
fast
like
food.
movies and television. And
Because it's part of pop culture and
Arjuna,
food, and they sell
the real
movie
reason,
merchandise.
the real reason that you put this in here is because you are clearly going to do a live stream and a vlog of you going, making the epic journey to McDonald's on foot. You're going to pick up a McPlant burger. You're going to bring it all
coming
the
in
way back,
2021. yes.
recording this whole thing, and then you're going to do a taste analysis.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the McPlant burger. It comes out in 2021. They have been McDonald's in select markets, apparently in Canada and overseas, has been trying out plant-based burgers. They like the results. Burger King and some other fast food places have started to have their plant-based burgers. It's becoming more popular, specifically in the West Coast and in worldwide. So it was just a matter of time for McDonald's to do something like this. They've never had a veggie burger, so if you are vegetarian, it's really hard to eat at McDonald's. If you're a pescatarian like me, I guess you can have the fish fillet. But if I eat a fish fillet, I get a headache. So
It's usually the oil.
yeah,
that
that might
they're
be it.
frying everything in. I think it's fascinating. So when I went to CES in 2019, Beyond Burger was there with their Beyond Burger 2.0, and it was probably one of the big highlights of CES that year
Mhm.
because the quality of fake meat was so close to a regular burger that it was shocking to individuals. We are truly getting to the point where plant-based or fake meat or grown meat or whatever you want to call it is becoming a real thing.
Cloned meat.
Clone meat, whatever.
I'm sorry.
And the fact that McDonald's, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, is the largest fast food chain in the world.
Still?
Yeah. They are in 200 something countries.
Chipotle hasn't taken over yet? I've ordered enough Chipotle to put them over the top.
Chipotle is popular in
I'm
America,
kid-
but I
I'm
don't think
kidding.
it has an international market.
I'm totally
Not at all.
kidding.
No,
It's
no.
definitely
But
not.
yeah, McDonald's, if they push a plant-based burger worldwide, that's going to be pretty big
It is big.
for our meat consumption. I mean, when we look at climate change and all that fun crap, growing the cows and butchering the cows and processing the cows, it's a huge
Yeah.
issue or whatever in terms of climate change and all that. So this is going to be interesting. Probably definitely a big revolutionary change happening as per normal. So
Oh, interesting. We got so Granite Armadillo says, please Arjuna, I need a live stream. So this is gonna happen when it comes out.
Okay.
In fact, Juna, maybe you should reach out to McDonald's and see if you can pre-order the burger.
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me get right on that.
And then Lauren WW says, technically Subway is larger than McDonald's. I don't know if that's crazy. If
is
it's
that
true.
for real?
Yeah, I mean they don't. But isn't that bread not even considered bread or something?
It's considered
Like
because of
sugar?
how much sugar's in it.
Yeah.
A lot of their loaves of bread aren't considered actual bread.
Yeah. Or it's it's classified as something in other countries.
Yeah.
Like something else.
Yeah.
It's weird. Bobby, so just as much as Arjuna, this middle one was made for Arjuna, this last wasn't news is made for you.
Yeah, let's touch upon this quickly because we are at time. My boy Gerard Butler is going to be making the fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4 fourth, Olympus Has Fallen, titled Night Has Fallen. Such a stupid title. What is a stupid movie?
So I haven't seen the first three. Are
Are
they
we going
good?
to the midnight premiere?
Are they good?
The first one?
No, the first three.
The first three are great. The third one's probably my favorite because he Morgan
Isn't
Freeman
that called Angel Has Fallen?
Angel Has Fallen. Yeah, so Morgan Freeman is the president. He's like his personal guard, and Morgan Freeman almost dies or is hospitalized, and the entire United States is looking for Gerard Butler.
Wait a minute. So what are the title of the movie? So Olympus Has Fallen. What's the second one?
I
London
got-
Has
I
Fallen.
got
I think it's London Has Fallen.
What's
and
the
then
third one?
Angel
Has Fallen, and
And
now
then we have
Night
Has Fallen.
Yeah.
Can the
My
third,
theory
can the
is-
fifth one be like
My theory is this one has
I
to-
have fallen.
this
I
one
can't
has
get up.
this one has to take place on like a moon base or something, or on the space station, because
Night Has Fallen.
the first one is the president. They're going after the president. He protects it. The second one is the family or whatever that he killed in the first one, seeking revenge.
Wait, what?
And then the third one is the entire United States Army military going after Gerard Butler. So the fourth one's going to be some space shit, something epic.
Oh, by the way, Aaron Eckhart is the president.
Yes.
In the first two movies.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
Morgan Freeman is his like vice president or secretary of state or something.
Secretary of Defense,
Something
I
like
want to
that.
say.
So
And
his
in the
boss.
first one, you actually think Morgan Freeman is the bad guy. And in the second one, you think he's the bad guy. And then the third one, he's the president. You're like, nah, he can't be the bad guy.
Maybe the fourth one.
Maybe the
Night
fourth one,
Has
he turns on
Fallen.
him.
No, the fourth one's obviously Gerard Butler's president, right?
I mean,
Oh,
he's
man,
working
we're
his
waiting,
way
we're
up.
waiting for it. So let me get this right. Do you think the Olympus Has Fallen franchise is going to go the way of Fast and the Furious? They become more and more ridiculous. Eventually, you get some teammates.
We can
And
only
we got
hope.
spin-offs.
Just watch the fourth one without the third one, without watching the other two.
I need to watch the first.
No, you really don't. It's clearly they're all standalone films.
Yeah,
You
but I
don't
wa-
need previous.
Yeah, but
knowledge.
why watch the why watch just the third one when I can watch all three?
Because I'm curious to see if you like watch it in like reverse order, because the third one starts with just the level of insanity in terms of like the entire fucking
It sounds great. I don't want to.
United States is going after one man.
I want to build up to that.
No,
I don't
but
wanna
go
start
back,
with
go
that.
backwards
No,
and see
no.
what happens.
One question we have from Lag and Cheese: Has Morgan Freeman ever been the bad guy?
Yeah,
has,
when he
right?
was Bruce Almighty, and he played God.
Was he the bad guy?
No.
Yes, he
No,
was
no,
God.
the
God was
bad guy. He was a bad guy in the very first Now You See Me movie. He is like the magician that is
Oh, that's
evil.
right.
But however, in the sequel, it's revealed that he's a good guy and has been helping them the whole time. So he was a bad guy, and then they changed their minds in the sequel. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
We never met Morgan Freeman in the four franchises: Star Trek, Star Wars, DC, Marvel.
Wow.
He should be in all four
He
Or
should.
what would
He
what would his role be?
as a bad guy.
No. Yes.
Also, Wanted. I guess he was a bad guy.
The dumb.
Wanted. Never saw that. Was that the curved bullet one?
Yeah, this one with James McAvoy.
That one's
Angelina
a very
Jolie.
interesting one. Spoiler alert. Do you want me to spoil it for you, Chris?
Yeah,
They all
I'm
die.
never gonna.
They
They
all
curved
die.
a bullet into everybody.
Yes.
Wait, they curve a bullet into everyone?
Yes.
Wait, even James
And-
McAvoy?
No, he
What about
survives.
Angelina Jolie?
She dies.
She dies?
Oh,
Yeah, she gets a bullet curved into her.
They killed Angelina and keep James alive?
Yes. Because
Interesting.
Morgan Freeman was like double cross. I don't know. It was stupid. Don't worry about it. You're not missing anything.
Are we excited for the next Mission Impossible movie?
No,
The last one was great.
it was all right.
What? That's some of the best action I've ever seen.
Why you bring up Mission Impossible? Morgan Freeman's not in that.
He should be, as the bad guy.
Anyway, that's going to do it for us here at Was It Good. We're going to be live again this Friday around 5 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/wasitgood. We'll obviously be talking Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3. Hopefully, we'll see less of the Frog Lady and more of something else.
More Frog Lady.
No more Frog Lady. As always, you can find us on Twitter at WasItGood and on Instagram at WasItGoodBTM. Thank you and good day.
Bye.
Do we want to kill the stream too?
We can stick around if anyone on the stream wants to ask us questions about where we got these awesome cardigans.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, you didn't get the memo.
I don't have a cardigan.
Didn't you get the memo?
Why don't
That's
you?
a Morgan Freeman character from Dark Knight. The Lion.
That's
You
right.
get
He's
the
also
memo,
yeah.
Batman
forget,
Begins.
he plays.
He is so Morgan Freeman is in DC.
Damn it. Okay.
He hasn't been in Star Wars or Star Trek or Marvel.
Where did we get the cartons? I got this from that boxed subscription thing, 5 Clubs.
I knitted this myself.
Wow.
I stole this from Ravi.
Did you really?
Yeah, you gave. I came to visit you when you were living in LA and I was living in Boston,
Oh yeah,
Like
you
7
needed it
years
more than
ago?
I did.
and I was freezing.
Classic.
And you gave this to me because you're like, I'm done with it. Only smells a little bit like you.
Like fear.
Fear? Were you afraid?
Hey, guys, the spokesperson of Pizza Hut is playing Monday Night Football right now. Just to let you guys know.
Wait, who? Who's the spokesman?
Joe Flacco?
The game hasn't started yet, has
It
it?
has. I have it up right
shit.
now.
Who's playing? Who's winning?
Well, the Jets were driving down and making the Patriots defense look terrible. And Joe Flacco threw a touchdown pass, but the receiver dropped it.
Nice.
And that looked like it was PI, actually, if I'm being honest.
By the Patriots?
Well, I guess
Yeah.
we're gonna jump out of here so these two can watch football, and I'm gonna
Are you ready
stare
for
at a
some
wall.
football?
Goodbye.
A Sunday night party. Oh.